This is game week 34 predictions. Last week I got 4 points, taking me to a total of 184 points. This is going to be a quicker video because they start playing tomorrow. So let's get started with City versus Villa. City, we're starting to get worried. Yes, we won against Everton, but we need to continue that. We didn't look that good against Everton. Hopefully we get the rest of the points because Villa honestly look dangerous. I think they are definitely going to get Champions League at this rate. They are a new beast. And that's why I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to Villa. I don't see us beating them. Next up is Arsenal versus Crystal. Arsenal, they put a stronger side than expected from me. But now I think they're going to put a weaker side against Crystal because they're going to have Champions League after that and they don't want to risk any injuries. As for Crystal, they managed to hold off Bournemouth even though they had a red card for half the game. So good on them defensively. So for the scoreline, a weaker sided Arsenal versus Crystal. At the Emirates, I see a 1-1 draw. Next up is Chelsea versus Everton. Chelsea, they had a great comeback against Fulham, managed to get 2 goals at the end, but I still think they'll miss Champions. I don't think they'll get top 5. They still have a tough run. They have Forest, Liverpool, and Newcastle to face, so I don't think they'll make it. As for Everton, they were actually decent against City, but then towards the end they fell asleep and conceded twice. But honestly, I see Chelsea losing more points here. I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw. Next is Wolves versus Leicester. Wolves, they continued their winning form against United. I think that's 6 wins now in a row, and they're gonna be facing Leicester, who lost to Liverpool 1-0. They held off defensively, but Hermanson, he had a masterclass, but they're gonna lose here. Let's be real here. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Wolves. Next up is Newcastle versus Ipswich. Newcastle, what the fuck was that against Villa? How do you go from the run you had, the good form you had, to conceding 4? That doesn't make sense to me. And then there's Ipswich, who lost 4-0 to Arsenal, and that red card that they got didn't help them at all. I think they're going to lose here again against Newcastle. Yes, Newcastle conceded 4, but it's Ipswich. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Newcastle. Next up is Brighton versus West Ham. Brighton, they're still booty. They continued their horrible form. And João Pedro gets a red card, so even more bad news for them. But they will be facing West Ham, who nearly got a win, but at the end they conceded. They fell asleep, I guess. West Ham are just not that good right now. They are one of the biggest disappointments of this season, in my opinion. So I think Brighton's going to win here, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to them. Next up is Southampton versus Fulham. Southampton, like I said, managed to get a draw through Iguchuku, who got like a volley or half volley type goal, and he stole a point. As for Fulham, they continued their inconsistency, which is very infuriating when I'm trying to get points. They had the win-loss pattern, win-loss, 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 and then they broke it here against Chelsea, and they lost twice in a row. But I think they will get a win here. It is Southampton. Should be easier for them. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Fulham. Next up is Bournemouth versus United. Bournemouth, they lost their shooting boots. Absolutely. All they had to do was score 1 goal against Crystal Palace with 10 men, and they couldn't do it. They have fallen off ever since February. But they will be facing United, who looked like the way better team against Wolves, but just could not score. Also, they're still in the Europa League. Surprisingly, they got that last minute winner through Maguire, so they'll be focusing on that as well. I think Bournemouth should be able to score at least 1 goal against United. It should be a weaker sided United, so I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win to Bournemouth. Next up is Liverpool versus Spurs. Liverpool, they could not finish in their game against Leicester, and their goal finally came through Trent, who might have just scored his last goal in the Prem, which is good for the rest of us. As for Spurs, they turned into cross central, cross after cross, because they couldn't break through them, so they just from afar cross. They got a goal, but it wasn't enough, and they lost, which was expected. So I think Liverpool here will win the league, finally solidifying it with a 3-1 win to Liverpool. And lastly, we have Forest versus Brentford. Forest, very clinical. They had very few shots, managed to get 2 from them, and they won against Spurs. And then there's Brentford, who managed to score 4, even though they haven't been scoring that much. It's weird. Brentford tend to score 4 out of nowhere. If you go back through the season, they have scored 4 goals multiple times. And for this game, the teams sort of play similar. They counter, so it's going to be end-to-end, I believe. But I still think it's going to be low scoring. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Forest. But hopefully Brentford have something for me. And those are my predictions for game week 34. Tell me what you think. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace.